What's up, everybody? Welcome to MyDunnLife. This is where I take you on my adventures on two wheels or four. Today is Father's Day. It's absolutely gorgeous out. Not a cloud in the sky. It's not going to be super hot. This would be absolutely the day to get out and ride the bike, and I'm not, sadly. I wish I had figured out this yesterday. I probably would be riding this bike today because I would have do what I'm about to do, and we'll talk about that in a minute. First up, let's talk about the Dyna. Let's talk about what's been going on with the Dyna. So upgrades we've done for this season. Done the 9-inch spoiler windshield. This did have a 6-inch non-spoiler windshield. This Batwing fairing, thank you, Mr. Chopper Fett. Replaced these side fairing windshields, whatever you want to call it, here on the side. I broke one of these last season, so got a new set. And if you've been watching some of my smaller posts, you saw that I had replaced these risers. This was a 4.5 1-inch pullback stock. This is now an aftermarket set with 6.5 1-inch back, and the piece of resistance was this piece right here. On an 06, 07 Dyna, a lot of them had this straight bolt pattern where pretty much all Harleys use this offset, especially on the Sportsters and Dynas. This piece is actually off a late 90s, early 2000s Sportster with the indicators. It wasn't available on all models. It was kind of a weird thing, but these still are available off eBay and sometimes Facebook Marketplace, which is actually where I got this piece. Then as we span around, we're going to put some Amazon floorboards on for the wife. These are actually pretty good. I made sure to Loctite these once I got them in the position she was comfortable with. Got the Legend suspension on. Unfortunately, these are not the heavy duty springs. So that right now these are cranked all the way up for me and the wife, because she, when I have been riding, she has been definitely riding with me and adding into the rider comfort. Now last year I had added the taller Sissybar with the big backrest. The plan is to possibly do a trip later in the season, and that's why this was bought. This is another Amazon buy, like $92. Really not bad for what it is. It's not super quality, but I mean it's pretty decent. The backrest is pretty cushy, and basically the way I did this is I had another Sissybar for this bike with the standard backrest and all that stuff. So I took the backrest off. I don't know if you can get in here. You can see there's some bolts, and I put a nut in there. So bolt and nutted these to the side plates, and then this is mounted to this luggage rack. So it's fairly nice. It's fairly solid. Really doesn't move a whole lot. You see it's got a top luggage rack. That's going to be nice for adding some extra gear. It's pretty much about big enough for about 2 helmets, which is what it's advertised for. I haven't tried putting helmets in here, but I'm pretty sure ours would probably fit. I did go ahead and silicone around all these bolt holes. I want to make sure this is fairly weather tight. There's a pretty good lip around here. I may get a weather seal and put around here just to trim that up. See right now I got my rain gear in it. It is Quick-Detach and lockable, so I can take it off at any time and put the regular backrest on it. So I here's been my big problem. So I relocated these turn signals from up here, obviously because of the saddlebags, and the wiring routing was causing it. The wire wanted to stay right behind the plate here, and with the different shocks that I've had, including these Legends, that's caused some rubbing. Now the Legends cranked all the way up. I don't have as much rubbing, but I did have a little bit of rubbing, and I had to patch up the wiring. And honestly, this has been patched like 4 or 5 times now on these turn signals, and unfortunately it's done. The wire is broken somewhere up top on this left turn signal, every time, you know, I try to wiggle it, and I was trying to use these, and of course I don't have them. I don't know if I can get up in here or not. I don't know if you can see the little adhesive tabs I was trying to use to route this wire so it would stay up against the fender and not rub, because the back side of this plate is not rubbing. So I know that the wiring is sticking out in front of that plate, and so that's pretty much where my problem is right now. So what I have decided to do, this was not my preferred method, but I'm sick and tired of messing with this wiring. It's going to cost me at least as much or more to replace this wiring. So what I'm going to do is, these are going to come off. I'm going to get an all-in-wood turn signal brake light. It's going to put all the wiring right here. The main harness is perfectly fine. I even have a spare that I found online, brand new. So I'm going to order me a brake light turn signal combo and fix this problem once for all. I'm kind of sick of it. It's caused the most reason for me not to ride this motorcycle, and I'm kind of done. So that's what's happening next. I did go through, change the oil, change transmission fluid. I didn't bother changing the primary. That obviously does a lot less wear and tear. I was having an issue the other day. It was like 90 some degrees, and this bike was not happy. It was really hot. My legs were on fire, and I was riding on the highway, and it was kind of surging a little bit. I was looking up online because I have a Fuel Pack 1 tuner, and I know that these tunes are kind of like best guess, if you will, based on your setup. I found somebody who posted a different set of numbers, and they said he had an 06 Dyna with a set of slip-ons, which is pretty close to what I have. I do have a K&N Filter in this box, but the you know, for the most part, these are slip-ons of some sort with stock head pipes. And so for the most part, I went ahead and the numbers were close to the one I was using, but it was a little bit different. I'm going to try that out and see how well that works. But otherwise, that's pretty much where I'm at right now with the Dyna. I'm trying to get everything ready. Oh, I guess I should talk about the brakes, because that was the big reason why I haven't been able to ride for a while. So anybody doesn't know, when I bought this bike, it had less than 7,000 miles. Pretty sure this brake fluid had never been changed. It was nasty, it was gunky, it had chunks in it. Cleaned it out the best I can last season, flushed it like 3 times, and I put purple .5 fluid in it. Went to check it this season because obviously I wanted to make sure everything was good. This fluid was orange, and there were some more chunks in it, and I'm like, that's not good. So I started to try to flush it out again, and I was running into the problem of I was not sucking the fluid through the hose and through the brake caliper. So that told me I probably had either a blockage or I had a collapsed line. And being the age of this bike, I didn't want to take the risk, especially with the wife on board. So I went and ordered brand new brake lines. This is from Spiegel Performance. It's actually a local company here in Dayton, Ohio. They custom made me a front one. They weren't able to custom make me the rear. I had to order that from another place, and it's eluding my head right now where I ordered it. But the back line I did replace and flush, but I didn't rebuild the caliper here. But this one I did rebuild myself, and so that's been completely tore apart and rebuilt from scratch. And first time doing that, and a lot of people's gonna go, why didn't you do a video? And I sort of tried, and like every other build video I've tried to do with this bike, pretty much is a failure. So I'm just not good at shooting this stuff. I'm a horrible YouTuber, as they like to say here on YouTube. But that's where the bike is right now. It does seem to be running better since I put the different tune on it, and the brakes are really solid for the most part. I really do like the Legend suspension. It is really cushy and comfortable when we're riding 2 up. Now right now it's stiff, but it's still compliant, and I'm okay with that when I'm riding solo. Yes, you can adjust these, but man, when you start getting to these upper limits, I mean, you can kind of see where the where these are at. I mean, there's not much thread left to crank on these, so there's a lot of tension on these springs. So, and I had to take the bags off to get into the to really get a good grip and crank these up. So that's pretty much where we're at for the Dyna for today. I hope everybody who's a dad out there, or even a stepdad, because you're taking responsibility for helping raise children in today's crazy world. Hope everybody has a great day, has a great week. We'll catch you in the next video.